Everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are breaking down the Daily Digest, looking at the top 5 current affairs updates for August 13th, 2026. We're setting the stage for a really fast-paced, high-retention tour of today's most crucial news. So if you're looking to grasp what's happening right now across multiple sectors without any of the fluff, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll be covering defense with the INS Shruti, tech with Karnataka's Tatya Kosh, an environmental oil spill, education via the Navya program, and we'll wrap up with health and the National Dialysis Program. All right, let's jump right in.
Starting off with Section 1, Defense, we've got a pretty major update regarding India's indigenous warship construction.
Okay, quick memory test to get us started. Do you happen to remember which shipyard actually launched the Indian Navy's next-generation offshore patrol vessel named Shruti? It's a prominent part of the Yard 3737 project. Take a second, lock in your guess.
All right, if you guessed Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, GRSE, over in Calcutta, you nailed it. This launch is honestly a massive step forward for the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. It really just highlights India's rapidly growing self-reliance and engineering muscle in the defense sector.
You know, what's really fascinating here is the name itself, Shruti. The Indian Navy didn't just pull that out of thin air. It anchors this incredibly advanced, modern maritime vessel right back to ancient Vedic tradition, specifically referring to the 4 Vedas. It's just a really beautiful blend of India's historical roots and its futuristic ambitions.
And this ship? Definitely not just for show. INS Shruti is tasked with some seriously heavy lifting. We're talking critical maritime surveillance and offshore asset protection, sure, but also vital, life-saving duties, things like search and rescue, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, what they call HADR, and absolutely crucial anti-piracy operations. It's a highly versatile asset designed to secure the waters and save lives.
Moving right along to Section 2, Tech. Let's see what's happening with Karnataka and their big push into digital public goods.
So, think about this. Which state government recently launched a brand new open-source public data portal called Tatya Kosh? If you track India's digital infrastructure trends at all, you probably already have a suspect in mind.
Yep, the answer is Karnataka. They are really stepping up in a big way to make government and institutional data so much easier to discover, access, and actually reuse. By structuring this as a digital public good, they're empowering developers and researchers to build real data-driven solutions for massive sectors. Think agriculture, healthcare, climate change, and financial inclusion.
The naming here is actually brilliant because it tells you exactly what the platform wants to be. It combines Tatya, meaning truth, and Kosh, meaning repository, a literal repository of truth. That's quite a bold claim for a government portal, right? Technically speaking, it acts as a metadata index discovery layer, meaning instead of trying to hoard all the raw data onto one giant, clunky server, it acts as a really smart index to help you effortlessly find the data you need across all sorts of different government departments.
All right, on to Section 3, Environment. We need to shift gears and look at a developing ecological situation.
Time for a quick geography check. The Halaniat Islands have been making headlines lately, unfortunately, because of a terrible oil spill from a grounded tanker. But do you know exactly which water body this 5-island archipelago is located in?
It's the Arabian Sea, specifically right off the southern coast of Oman. The Omani government is actively trying to tackle this severe crisis right now. Fun fact, if the name Halaniat Islands doesn't ring a bell, you might actually know them by their old name, the Kuria Muria Islands.
And here is why this matters so much. Just consider the staggering biodiversity being threatened by this spill. We're talking Arabian Sea humpback whales, magnificent whale sharks, dolphins, incredibly diverse fish species, essential turtle nesting beaches, and super rich coral reefs. It is a stark reminder of just how fragile our marine ecosystems really are, and why swift disaster response is absolutely critical. Jumping back to India for Section 4, Education, let's dive into some human-centric developments, specifically around youth skill development.
Okay, classic exam-style question for you. The Navya program. Can you link this highly specific sub-program to its massive, overarching national parent scheme? Any ideas?
It falls directly under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0, or PMKVY 4.0. This overarching scheme is all about providing industry-relevant training to young minds, essentially trying to bridge that stubborn gap between what schools teach and what the modern workforce actually demands.
Honestly, the best way to remember this one is to just break down the acronym itself. Navya stands for Nurturing Aspirations Through Vocational Training for Young Adolescent Girls.
It's a highly targeted push designed specifically to empower young women with tangible, employable skills. Now, just wrap your head around this impressive number, 1,060. According to data up to the end of June 2026, that is exactly how many adolescent girls have already been trained under Navia, spread across 15 different states and union territories. So this isn't just some small pilot program, it has real geographical spread and momentum.
And the way it works is a really strict three-step structure. It kicks off with foundational classroom vocational training, but it doesn't stop there. Step 2 is mandatory on-the-job training, giving these girls actual real-world experience. And finally, the entire journey is tracked digitally in real time through the Skill India Digital Hub. It creates a complete, closed-loop system for success.
All right, bringing us to our fifth and final section today, health. Let's take a look at the National Dialysis Program. So, the Pradhan Mantri National Dialysis Program provides free hemodialysis services. It's a massive undertaking covering all 36 states and union territories, spanning 751 districts. But according to recent data, which state currently has the absolute highest number of these life-saving centers?
Gujarat is leading the pack with 282 centers. They're followed pretty closely by Karnataka at 214 and Maharashtra with 158. To put that massive scale into perspective, as of late June 2026, the national program is running a staggering 1,856 hemodialysis centers equipped with over 13,500 machines. It is just a monumental, nationwide effort to improve access to essential dialysis care.
Well, that wraps up our top 5 updates. But before we go, I want to leave you with something to chew on. We looked at a massive open data portal in Karnataka today, right alongside a nationwide public health rollout with the PMNDP. So as these kinds of initiatives scale up, how is this accelerating shift toward data-driven governance ultimately going to transform our day-to-day, ground-level lives over the next decade? It's pretty fascinating to think about. I'll leave you with that to ponder as you review today's facts. Keep asking those big questions, keep focusing on the details, and I will catch you in the next explainer.